70% of car repairs come from driver mistakes or neglect, not accidents. And after years of real-world testing, I've seen the tricks mechanics don't tell you and the shortcuts that actually work. Forget fancy tools or pricey upgrades. Most of these tricks you can do today. In this video, you'll learn 21 genius driving hacks you've never tried, but should. They'll save you time, money, and maybe even your bumper. And don't miss the last two. They could save your car in an emergency. Let's kick off with a shocker. Hack number 21. Don't use the same tire pressure in summer and winter. Every experienced driver knows the correct tire pressure is on the car door frame, not the tire sidewall. However, 92% of drivers are unaware that this only applies during the summer. Winter tires require a higher pressure setting because cold air causes them to lose pressure faster. Air pressure changes roughly 1 psi for every 10-degree shift in weather. That's one reason why you use more fuel in winter, and you're always losing traction. In general, your winter tires should be between 3 to 5 psi higher than normal. Your car manual will have the specific tire pressure for your car. Proper tire pressure year-round can save up to 3% on fuel. You also get better traction, and it can extend tire life by up to 9,000 miles. Speaking of fuel, it's time to bust an old myth. Hack number 20. Stop dumping fuel into your car. Did you know that there is a right and wrong way to fill up your tank? No. It's not refueling in the morning to take advantage of cold fuel. We debunk this fuel myth and many others in this video. Always take your time when filling your tank. Filling up your tank too fast can cause fuel foaming. This is when the fuel bubbles up like a fizzy drink and spills out of the tank. When fuel foams, it can damage your fuel filters, pump, and injectors. The excess foam can also damage your EVAP system, which will cost you $300 to $600 to repair. The right way to fill your tank is to get it up to a quarter tank, then pause for 30 seconds. You want to give the fuel time to settle, especially if it's diesel. Fill it up halfway, then wait another 30 seconds. Finally, top it up. This slow process will add an extra 1.3 gallons of fuel to your car and prevent a premature shutdown. And yeah, you're going to need that extra bit of fuel for this next trick. Hack number 19. Use the thermal cascade technique to cool a hot car quickly. Did you know that your car's temperature can reach 160 degrees Fahrenheit after just 1 hour in the sun? That, by the way, is the same temperature needed to cook a well-done steak. In a hot car, avoid blasting the air conditioning directly at your face. That will only blow hot air right at you. Here's the fastest way to cool down your car. Step 1. Roll down the windows on one side of the car. Step 2. Fan the car. Open the front door on the opposite side of the car and swing it open and shut 5 or 6 times. This method creates a low pressure zone that pushes hot air out. Step 3. Start the air conditioning. Roll down all the windows and switch on the air conditioner to the coldest setting. Since it's hotter inside, avoid recirculation mode. Step 4. Direct your vents downwards. Hot air tends to rise, so you want to force all the hot air up and out of your car. Point all vents down toward the footwell. Step 5. Start driving. Driving will cool your car quicker, so start moving, but leave the windows open. When it feels cooler inside, roll up the windows. Step 6. Switch to recirculation mode. This feature will keep re-cooling the already cool air inside your car. To maximize this feature, redirect the air vents towards the top and sides of the car. This trick always works, but there's just one problem, and we'll address that next. Hack number 18. Crack the window open to prevent steering wheel burns. A study by Arizona State University found that at 100 degrees Fahrenheit, a steering wheel can hit 127 degrees Fahrenheit in an hour. However, dark-colored steering wheels can reach temperatures of up to 200 degrees. Let's put this in context. At 111 degrees, we start to feel pain. First-degree burns occur at 118 degrees, while second-degree burns occur at 130 degrees. So, if your steering wheel is dark, ouch! When you crack the windows open, the hot air inside the car rises and is pushed out the window. Meanwhile, some of the cooler air from outside also gets into the car. This simple tip can lower the temperature of your steering wheel by up to 30 degrees. Unfortunately, car problems don't only happen during summer. Hack number 17. Prevent frozen doors with cooking spray. One of the first things we learned in science class, or by being mischievous in the garden, is that oil and water don't mix. Although this fact is almost entirely useless, it comes in handy in this instance. Car doors freeze when moisture condenses on the seals and lock mechanisms. You can get out of this jam by pouring a bit of warm water or gently wiggling the doors. However, the easiest way is to prevent this from happening in the first place. Simply spray cooking oil on the rubber seals of your doors. Wipe off any excess with a towel, and you're all set. The oil will prevent water from sticking to the doors, so there will be no more freezing. This trick can last for months, but play it safe and repeat it every 3 to 4 weeks. If you think cooking spray is cool, wait until you see what you can do with nail polish. But first, another hot tip for cold weather. Hack number 16. Use hand sanitizer to thaw a frozen door handle. It's amazing how many things can go wrong when you own a car in winter. One of the most inconvenient is when you can't get into your car in the first place. The quickest way to unlock a frozen door is to warm up the car key. You can either use a lighter or pour hot water on the key. And no, never pour hot water directly on your car door. The water will get on your window and shatter it, leaving you with a $200 repair. Another unconventional method is to use hand sanitizer. Yup, the stockpile you've kept since COVID finally has a good use. Put a small amount on the key and slowly push it through the keyhole. The alcohol in the sanitizer will melt the ice. Also, pour some on the door handle and repeat the process as needed. You can also use a commercial de-icing liquid, but who has money to waste? If you enjoy money-saving tips and car hacks, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. Hack number 15. Use potatoes to prevent window fog. According to the U.S. Department of Transportation Federal Highway Administration, over 38,700 crashes annually are fog-related. This results in 600 fatalities and over 16,000 injuries. The worst part about window fog is that you never know when it'll happen. While you can use your car's defogging system to clear the windshield, there's nothing for your windows. Foggy windows widen your blind spots and reduce your reaction times. Although there are hacks that can help you reduce the fog, we'd rather prevent it from occurring in the first place. Slice a potato and rub it all over your windows. The potato starch will create a thin film that absorbs moisture before it condenses. Random fact: this trick was first employed by Russian fighter pilots during World War II. Using a potato is much cheaper than buying anti-fog sprays. It's also safer because some sprays leave streaks on the glass that still distort your vision. One application can last for months, but keep it safe and repeat this process every 4 to 5 weeks. Later in the video, we'll share another life-saving tip for cold weather. Hopefully, it's a hack you'll never have to use. Hack number 14. Decode your fuel gauge arrow. A recent survey found that 74% of drivers didn't know that their car had a fuel gauge arrow. If you're one of them, don't feel too bad. We've all been there. If you look at the fuel gauge on your dashboard, you'll notice a fuel pump symbol with an arrow. The arrow points to the location of your fuel tank. If you drive an old car, the pump icon handle indicates the same thing. The point of this tiny detail is to save you time and embarrassment at the gas station. This comes in handy when you're in a new car or a rental. On average, it saves 2 to 3 minutes at the gas station, which will prevent a lot of side eyes. However, if you want to save money and time, we've got more great hacks for you later in this video. This next one isn't half bad either. Hack number 13. Cover paint scratches with nail polish. No matter how well you drive, your car will always get scratched. Whether it's from road debris, driving too close to a garbage truck, or someone dinging your door at the parking lot. But before you splurge $3,000 to $8,000 on a repaint, try this hack first. Nail polish can cover minor scratches that haven't reached the base layer of the coat. Besides making your car look neater, it will also protect the metal from further damage and rust. First, find a nail polish color that is as close to your car's color as possible. Next, clean the area with soapy water. Once it's dry, apply the nail polish gently, then use a soft cloth to lightly buff it. As amazing as this is, that's not all nail polish can do. Hack number 12. Use nail polish to fix window chips. Here is a hack that even the most experienced drivers don't know about. Clear nail polish can be used to temporarily fix chips on your windshield. That's because it contains nitrocellulose, which is a durable bonding agent. Nitrocellulose is also used in car clear coats. Nail polish seals the edges of the crack, preventing moisture and dirt from entering. The application process is as simple as you imagine. First, clean the area with a microfiber cloth. Then, apply the nail polish along the edges and let it dry. That's it. This simple trick can save you $300 to $1,000 in repairs and only costs $5. However, this isn't permanent. Expect it to last 3 to 6 months. If you're a new driver and you often scratch your car driving in or out of your garage, these next hacks will help. Hack number 11. Use pool noodles on your garage walls to prevent dings. Do you ever open your door too fast when you get home? Or do you have kids who don't yet know how strong they are? Here's what you do. Cut a pool noodle in half lengthwise. You'll then drill it sideways across the wall to align with your doors. And yes, noodles can absorb the impact of a door being swung by an angry teenager. This simple hack costs $30, but it will save you hundreds in having to repaint your doors. And don't forget the damage to your garage walls. But wait, we're not done with our garage hacks. Hack number 10. Hang a tennis ball in your garage. Did you know that 70% of drivers misjudge distance when parking in a tight garage? So don't feel bad, you're not alone. Still, that doesn't change the fact that you might have to spend thousands of dollars every year fixing your fender and garage wall. The easiest way to know where to stop parking is to hang a tennis ball where you want the car to stop. Simply attach it to a rope and let the ball drop to the midpoint of your windscreen or rear window, depending on how you park. The bright yellow of the tennis ball ensures it is visible at any time of day. However, this works better at night when your headlights are working properly. That's where the next hack comes in. Hack number 9. Use toothpaste to clean hazy headlights. Driving with cloudy headlights can reduce visibility by up to 30%. This is particularly dangerous during winter when reduced visibility is the leading cause of accidents. That's why mechanics are quick to point out that you need new headlights. But don't just take their word for it. New headlights cost at least $700, so try this hack first. First, wash your headlights. Next, put a generous amount of regular white toothpaste on a damp, clean cloth. Rub the toothpaste on the headlight in a circular motion, then rinse. Afterward, use a microfiber cloth to buff out any toothpaste residue. Your headlights will look as good as new, and you would have saved a small fortune. Repeat this hack every few months as needed. Later in the video, we'll share other tips that can save you over $1,000 each from mechanic scams. Hack number 8, hold hot drinks in place with a cupcake liner. Have you ever wondered why cup holders often fail to hold cups properly? Eventually, your hot cup of coffee will spill on you, the floor, or in the cup holder tray. But not with this trick. Silicone cupcake holders act as a washable, removable barrier between your drink and the cup holder. They catch any spills, debris, crumbs, and condensation. This makes your car easier to clean, especially when you've got a hot date you want to impress. They also hold coffee cups snugly in place, so you don't have to worry about spills when you're speeding. You can get 24 cupcake silicone liners for under $10, and they're heat resistant. If you've been spending a fortune on coffee to keep you alert while driving, we've got a cheaper alternative. Hack number 7, use citrus oils to stay alert. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, over 90,000 crashes occur each year due to drowsy driving. While coffee can temporarily stimulate your brain, it takes too long to kick in. A good complement is to use citrus oils. This is a trick long-haul drivers have used for decades. And no, it's not an old wives' tale. Citrus scents stimulate the olfactory system, which is connected to the limbic system. That is the part of the brain responsible for emotion, memory, and arousal. Orange and lemon oils can cause temporary alertness, almost like a tap on the shoulder when you're half awake. This quick jolt before your coffee kicks in is a great 1-2 punch for drowsiness. To take it a step further, you can actually peel an orange or lemon instead of using oils. Peeling and smelling is a sensory distraction that interrupts the boredom of driving. Before you go on a long trip, here's something you might need to do first. Hack number 6, reset your ECU when your car is misbehaving. Every now and then, the ECU in your car gets confused or overloaded with data. When that happens, your car may exhibit troublesome symptoms, such as rough idling and engine misfires. While this could be due to an actual fault, this can also happen after a major repair. The ECU needs to be recalibrated for things to return to normal. Fortunately, you don't have to spend a dime to do this, despite what your mechanic says. The easiest way to reset it is with an advanced diagnostic OBD2 scanner. They cost under $50, and they'll save you thousands in the long run, trust me. Plug it into the OBD2 port located under your dashboard and turn the ignition to the on position. Navigate your way through the scanner until you find the Reset ECU button, and that's it. If you don't have a scanner, you can disconnect the car battery and follow the reset sequence in your manual. A function ECU will keep you safe on the road, just like this next hack. Hack number 5, check tire tread depth with a penny. Unethical auto shops can smell a newbie a mile away. One of their favorite tricks is to sell you things you don't need. We covered this in detail in 13 mechanic scams everyone falls for, and tires are a top target. If you don't know how to check tire tread depth yourself, you can be duped into spending hundreds of dollars per tire. So, grab a penny and insert it into the groove with Lincoln's head upside down. If you can see the top of his head, then your tread is worn below the legal safety limit. For most regions, this is 2/32 of an inch. You can also use a quarter for this trick. If you can see the top of Washington's head, you have the same problem. Hack number 4, paper towel oil test. Do you ever wonder if you're using good quality oil? Or perhaps you want to ensure that you're changing your oil at the correct intervals. This simple test will help you do that, and it only takes a few minutes. Step 1. Warm up your engine for approximately 5 to 10 minutes. Next, get some oil from the dipstick and put a couple of drops on a white sheet of paper or a white paper towel. Step 2. Take the sheet of paper to a warm place and leave it for 2 hours to dry. Step 3. Inspect the sheet. If the edges are smooth, there is no water in the oil. If the center of the sheet is too dark, it's time for an oil change. If you've been using low-quality oil, you might notice metallic flakes on the sheet. This means that some internal parts of your engine are being damaged. Using cheap, low-quality oil may save you money now, but it will ultimately cost you more in the long run. Your engine will suffer from overheating, premature wear, and even engine failure. This will leave you with a $4,000+ repair bill. We're getting close to the life-saving tip we promised. But first, a tip that comes in handy in desperate times. Hack number 3. The emergency shift override button. It's always embarrassing when your car battery dies when you're out running errands. What's worse is when you're blocking other cars. If you ever find yourself in that situation and you drive an automatic, this feature is a game changer. The emergency shift override button enables you to put the car in neutral, even when the engine isn't on. This button is located on the gear shift and is usually a small hole that your key can slot into. In some cars, the button is covered by a small piece of plastic. Get this out of the way, insert your car key, and shift the gear to neutral. You don't need to depress the brake pedal for this to work. Please note that this is only for moving your car out of the way, not for towing. Either use a flatbed or a dolly to tow an automatic with the front wheels off the ground. Hack number 2. Use a pool noodle to prevent car sickness for kids. Family road trips sound like a great idea in theory, but in reality, it's a nightmare. One of the problems you might encounter with kids in front-facing car seats is motion sickness. Motion sickness is caused by a mismatch between what the eyes see and what the inner ears hear. So, when your kids are hearing the open road, but all they see is a stationary car or rapidly moving objects outside the window, it can induce nausea. To prevent this from happening, put a pool noodle or pipe insulation under the front of the car seat. This will tilt the car seat back so that the kids can see out of the front windscreen. This will balance out the sights and sounds of the road and keep motion sickness at bay. By the way, putting bay leaves under your tongue will prevent motion sickness in adults. Now, for the MacGyver trick that can get you out of serious trouble. Hack number 1. Rock out of snow or mud using floor mats. Nothing induces panic quicker than getting stuck in the snow. When there's low visibility, you risk being plowed by oncoming traffic. But if you can't get your car out quickly, you might have to stand on the side of the road waiting for a rescue. That then leaves you vulnerable to hypothermia. If you're ever in this position and you don't have any traction devices, use your floor mat as a last resort. Place the floor mat underneath the wheel in the direction you want to go. Try to push it under as far as it can go. Then, slowly drive over it. This works best with rubber mats, but use whatever is available. You've mastered 21 hacks. Nice work. But your car's still keeping secrets. From sneaky buttons to features buried in your dashboard, you're about to wonder, why didn't I know this sooner? Click now to watch 23 hidden car features you'll regret not using sooner.